What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about why he lost interest. Jumping right into this, the first reason that a lot of guys lose interest is you presented no challenge or no mystery because you did too much or you said too much too soon. Some guys want to discover you in time. Some people want to slowly grow into a friendship or a relationship or even a situationship with you. But when you overexpose yourself or when you share too much, whether it be physically or intellectually, a lot of times people feel like, well, I figured them out. I don't need to know anymore. There's no more mystery. There's no more allure. What do I need to, why am I still here? Obviously, a lot of players, a lot of F-boys will just use you for your body because that's all they really wanted to do anyway. But even a guy who had the intent to really kind of get to know you can be overexposed and it could be too much for him and he has to back away. It's important to have a good sense of timing when you're dealing with new guys because a lot of times it can look like low self-esteem. It can look like self-sacrifice almost when you just throw everything you are at a man. It can look like a desperate Hail Mary for a relationship or for validation when you give a man too much too soon or you tell a man too much too soon. People like to see standards and boundaries. People like to see the layers peel back a little bit. If you're 100% in from day one when they know they haven't really earned that access to you, then they'll start to mistrust your judgment a little bit. They might even know they don't mean any harm, but you don't. So why are you giving them so much so soon? A lot of people are judging your discernment, judging your sense of self-control and self-preservation. Also, like I said, if there's nothing else to discover in you and they've kind of gotten to the bottom of what your personality profile might be, if they're not entertained enough, you've given them so much, you've given them such an information dump and an information overload that they might just move on. You fast-tracked the whole discovery phase and what they've discovered, they just were not that interested in, to be quite honest. It always makes you appear to be more stable when you have a good sense of timing and when you have a good sense of patience. A lot of times that takes confidence, that takes high self-esteem. These are the nonverbal cues that we pick up on. Remember, 90% of communication is nonverbal. So we're learning about a person through their behaviors and habits, not just their words and their actions. And we might not even be fully aware of what we're judging or why our emotions are changing for a person. Because again, it's nonverbal cues. Our body picks up on it. There's a unique, intelligent design about how we choose our partners. And sometimes you can trigger a person's inner suspicions by not appearing to have a good sense of timing or patience and appearing desperate by throwing everything you are at a person immediately. Moving on, the second reason that a guy might lose interest in you is you became too needy or too clingy or you smothered him. Overexposure kills anticipation, and being hung on by a woman is a man's worst fear. No guy wants the possessive relationship with a woman who's too emotionally needy and too physically needy and too energetically needy that you can't have a life or you have to stop doing the things you were doing or living the life you were living because now this partner wants 100% of you at all times. Sometimes that overexposure can look like a tumultuous relationship waiting to happen or a needy partner waiting to happen. Right? Nobody wants that much power over you. So every time a woman presents herself as absolutely head over heels for a guy who doesn't believe he's really earned that right to be in that place in her heart, he's going to start to think that maybe she'll be a little bit possessive. Now, when people don't present to us a strong sense of self or a good sense of boundaries and timing, unfortunately enough, we actually start to subconsciously question their mental health or their emotional health. Because again, we haven't earned that place with them. So we turn tail and we go the other way because we do not want a relationship where we're being hung on, where we're being dragged down, where we're being needed constantly in ways that we shouldn't be responsible. Needy, clingy partners generally hang all of their happiness or sadness on their partners. If they're happy, it's because of what their partner did. If they're sad, it's because of what their partner did. If they had a good day or a bad day, it all hinges on their partners because their partners become too big a figure in their lives. Most people are not interested in that at all. And again, they may even subconsciously or even consciously question your mental or emotional health, or at least your self-esteem. People with strong self-esteem and a good sense of self-value and self-worth require a little bit of back and forth from a person. They require a little bit of time to pass. They require some familiarity to be developed, familiarity to be developed before they give everything they are to each other, to a person, or they overexpose themselves by just taking over, a person's whole social circle and engulfing them with love. And most people aren't looking for that type of relationship. Moving on. The third reason that a guy might lose interest is He realized that it was going to take a relationship and a serious effort to get where he wanted to go with you and to gain the access that he wanted to gain from you. And he has no intent to love a woman right now. He's realized that your standards for the way he had to treat you, to keep the access to you, were higher than the treatment of you that he had planned. Apex predators, right? They always pick the oldest, the sickest, and the slowest, or even the youngest prey because they're easier to catch. They don't pick the strongest bull in the herd to take down, right? A lion's not looking for the biggest fight of his life, right? A lion's looking for an easy enough meal that he can duplicate that and multiply that across time to make sure that he eats continuously. As a guy, if you have to spend all of your time chasing down one woman, then she starts to monopolize your experience and you miss out on all the other women who would have given you easier access. A guy who doesn't want a relationship or quality companionship isn't looking to spend time trying to get to know a woman or grow with her. He's not looking to treat her well and consider her and be in her life. He's not looking to call and ask her about how she's doing and how she feels about this or that or talk politics with her. That's why so often a lot of women with high standards get put on the drip. Meaning a guy might call them once a week, once every week or so, once every 2 weeks. In that space of time, he'll bomb you with compliments. He'll tell you how interested you are. He'll throw himself at you and you'll feel like the only girl in the world for that hour y'all talk or that little space that he gives you, and then he disappears. And he comes back in about a week or so, or every 2 weeks, or even once a month. Those guys are trying to feign a connection that isn't there. Those guys are trying to make you think that you're more familiar simply because more time has passed and you've known them for longer. When a guy puts you on a drip, it's because you require more respect, more time, more consideration than he has to give. He still wants to conquer you, but he must pace himself. He must create the sense that you know each other and you're a lot more close than you are. And so every once in a while he comes and he gives you everything he has and gives you a lot of energy for a very short amount of time, and then he goes away. He's not thinking about you when he's away. He's just chasing easier prey. When a guy puts you on a drip, let him go. Leave him alone. He's trying to feign a connection that isn't there, that he really doesn't want to even cultivate. He just wants you to think you've known him for a while. So you're close because you've talked for a while. You've known him for 6 months and you've really only spent a little bit of time with him. Again, cross your fingers that guys like that lose interest. Okay? A lot of these guys, when they realize, oh, okay, I can't play with her like I play with other women, then they go away. Stop trying to chase these guys who've understood that you have respect for yourself. Stop trying to adjust your standards and morals and values and your integrity to make sure that you create an avenue for a person like this to get close to you. It's not that they don't have access or they can't get close to you. It's that they won't. They don't want to. But a lot of times when you think, oh God, he was so on me the first week or the first 2 weeks and then he just stopped and now he only talks to me every week. We still talk and it's still powerful. It's still really, really good when we talk, but he almost never contacts me. It's because he's lost interest in trying to figure out how to be that every day. He can't keep up the act every day. The respect you require is more than the respect that he had planned to give you. And so now he's trying to maintenance you instead of give you what you need in order to gain access to you or keep access to you. Please move on if he doesn't lose interest first. But when a guy's behavior changes like that, I don't care if he's talking to you once every week or once every 2 weeks. He's lost interest. Even so, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KFIC24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.